this is Lucky Robin, and this is update 7 for the 2020 organic garden. The blueberries are changing from a dark green to a light green with a little blush on it. And they're still continuing to be loaded despite the huge amounts of wind that we have had. The clover is really taking over, can cut some of it and take it into the rabbits. And then you can see on this one, there's some that's actually starting to turn blue. And then, I don't know how well you can see those, but there are so many apples on this tree, it's ridiculous. We're probably going to have to thin them because there's clusters of like 6 to 8 apples on many of the branches, which will end up being way too heavy once they're full size. Roses are still as lovely as ever, and we still haven't gotten to taking care of this mess yet. We picked all of the flowers off the peppers and they are starting to get a little bit bigger now. I planted some broccoli in here. There's 15 plants, and spinach over there. There's nothing else in here right now. And I've pulled out all of the radishes, so this is just carrots. And these are all old seeds, so I'm surprised this much actually germinated. I'm planning to plant some new seed in here. That's from 2020. Alright, look at the peas. These were blossoms just a few very short days ago, and now it looks like there's a few on here that I could actually pick. I've gotten a few strawberries out of here. Looks like there's one that might be close to ready down there. This has not produced much yet, but it is putting out a bunch of daughter plants. The cucumbers really got big. You can see there's a flower down there. I trimmed out all the bottom leaves on here and on here, and took out all the suckers, and then I did the same thing over here and here, and that one is big enough that I'm letting it blossom, and this one, it's close enough. I think I can just let these blossoms stay now. Push this guy back though, so he's coming out the middle. Here we go. And then of course the strawberries over here are producing like gangbusters. Well, there's all kinds. My mom's gotten, these are my mom's though, not mine. She's gotten all kinds off of here. I've gotten a few off of these little window boxes. And if you look down in here, there are flowers, but even more importantly, there are zucchini, old rush zucchini coming. And I've got a bunch of flower heads on the echinacea. It's still probably going to be a couple weeks till they bloom though. But look at the bee balm. It's blooming. And lots of flower heads. We had to put a fence up around the garden. And it's kind of a makeshift fence. Not the prettiest, but what you gonna do? My son weeded all of the corn, and it has gotten huge since last week. I think it'll definitely be knee-high by the 4th of July. But we're gonna have to take this netting off. The beans have all been weeded out. That was about 1/4 me and about 3/4 my son. And we've replanted in the spots where the rabbit was eating the sprouts. And I thought it was bad germination, but no, we caught a rabbit in here eating. And so it has been fenced out. And over in that section, I replanted some purple ones instead of green ones because I had them and I thought, why not? And now my husband has rigged up a sprinkler up on the tippy top up there, so that when the corn is really tall and the beans are really tall, we can still water above everything. I know that's probably not the best method for evaporation, but I don't care. So there you go. Can you close the gate behind me, hon? And over here, some potatoes. Don't have anything yet in the last couple of rows, but they're definitely coming up in, let's see. These ones were planted about 10 days ago. These ones were planted about 15 days ago. These ones were about 2 weeks ago. And these ones were 3 weeks ago. So you can see the difference. These have really taken off this week. We've got to finish weeding, and then we've got to get dirt on these because they're getting too tall. You know, they need to be held. Flowers are doing well. The petunias are starting to spread. Got some weeds coming up though, so this will have to be weeded again, probably with a hoe, since the plants are far enough apart to do that. And this poor baby has to be deadheaded again. The calendula is starting to open up. Oh, you can see that it's still it's real pretty. Okay, so the cosmos and what I think are 2 delphinium seem to be doing really well. Those 2 that I think might be delphinium might actually be a weed. I don't know. Mint is just really doing great, and so is the oregano. No, wait, marjoram. That's marjoram. And then the kohlrabi have little balls for me. And the lettuce is ready to be harvested, some of it. And then the cucumbers have gotten quite a bit bigger in the last week. They were very small. They're not like the ones in back, but those were planted a lot earlier. Over here, the beets really took off this week as well. And the lemon basil does not like it here, so I've given up on it, more or less. The dwarf oregano back there is doing fine. So is the kale. This thing's going to seed. This is blood vein sorrel, so it's incredibly bitter right now. The chives are about to drop seeds. And the yarrow is doing pretty well, even though it won't stay in its own bin. And waiting on that poppy head to dry so that I can get those seeds for next year. I gave the thyme a haircut. The nasturtiums are really coming. The celery is doing really good, and I still am not sure what that is. It might be a brassica. It looked like a brassica when it was really little. So it could be bok choy, it could be cabbage. I don't know. It doesn't look like broccoli. It doesn't look like cauliflower. The patty pan squash is getting really big and lost most of its yellowing. I came in here and I cut out the low vines on here, and it's getting quite large now. Same on the other, same on this one. It's still got a ways to go. It was one of the last planted. And then that one over here was also one of the last ones planted. The rosemary's dropped a lot of needles, but it's still doing well. I think that's just the transplant shock still. And then this is rainbow chard, and it really popped this week. The cilantro as well, and the noisy train. And the green basil's really taken off. The opal basil is always further behind. And that is it for the garden for this update.